The actual formation of McDowell County, which is considered the southernmost county in West Virginia, was created in February of 1858. So this was before the Civil War, so this was technically part of Virginia. And it was created out of Tazewell County, which is the county directly south. It was named after James McDowell, who was the governor of Virginia from 1843 to 1845. So he was only a governor for 2 years. And basically, it's 535 square miles. And it's basically the headwaters of the Tug Fork River. There are others, of course. Route 52 is the most prominent route between Welch to Bluefield. But there's other sections of McDowell County that are on different routes. Like there's War and Coalwood. There's several different other routes that brings you into McDowell County from Tazewell County. Those will be on a different video, maybe at some point if I ever get down that way. We'll maybe go by Joe Low, whatever. So anyway, we'll get back to some little bit of history. So after the Revolutionary War, the federal government granted vast tracts of unoccupied land to military veterans and others. Many of these grants passed into the hands of speculators. In 1795, the original owners of all the land, which is now in McDowell County, was Wilson Nicholas, Jacob Kinney, and they sold all their grants to Robert Morris, who was a Philadelphia financier, and he was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Of course, Morris could not take care of all this land; it was just too much. So settlers began moving in. Morris lost control of his lands due to squatters' rights. And by the 1830s, most of the acreage had fallen back into public ownership in tax forfeitures. Near the time of the Civil War, the state of Virginia owned 2/3 of the land in McDowell County. Some of the first residents, Lydia Harmon, or Mathis was the husband, and Lydia Harmon, who had a cabin in the Dry Fork area in 1802. William Fletcher had about 20 acres of land near Welch, and that was in 1829. And right before the Civil War, the population was only about 1,500. This was like 1860, so before the Civil War, it was about 1,500 for the county. Let's see. What else could I talk about? Let's see. So we'll talk about Civil War. Basically, there really wasn't any battles or anything here at McDowell County. It was some sporadic fighting, but nothing of the major sense during the Civil War. Between 1858 and 1872, county court in McDowell County met at a variety of places. In 1872, the county seat was in Perryville, which Perryville is English, is a little town called English in McDowell County. And then, because at that point in time, Perryville, or English, was the largest town at the time. But, of course, population changed. Welch increased significantly due to the Norfolk and Western Railways in the early 1890s. And then Welch was incorporated in 1894. But this is something pretty interesting. McDowell, the people of McDowell County voted to move the county seat to Welch in 1892. Amid allegations of fraud, violence seemed imminent, but James A. Strother and Trigg Tabor secretly moved the county records to Welch, where the county seat has remained today. So there's always been some sort of turmoil in with Welch. We've had, of course, the craziness that I just mentioned there, where they secretly moved county records to Welch from English or Perryville, and then the Welch had the Sid Hatfield shooting and stuff, and then they also had the mayor shot the deputy sheriff in Welch over a meeting that was a little bit out of control. So yeah, there's always been a little bit of skirmishes and different things down here. So, and it, of course, by 1892, that's when coal had already started booming. That started in the 1870s. So, population just grew and grew and grew until it peaked at about in the 1950s, and the population peak was 98,887. So that's a far cry from what it is today. The population now, I think, is around 19,000 for the whole county. So, yeah. There's you a little bit more interesting information. There's some, I'm going to mention just a bunch of other names of random other towns. Of course, I'm not going to mention all of them, but that happen to be in McDowell County. Let's see, Gary, Anawalt, Davy, Yeager, War, Bradshaw, Jolo, Anawalt. Did I say Anawalt? I believe I did. Panther. So those are all on the other side of Route 52, on the other route. There are wildlife management areas, Berwyn Lake, and there is the golf course at Gary. So that's pretty interesting. Coalwood, that is not too far from Welch either. Coalwood, Homer Hickam, I've mentioned that before. There is now on this road, we've already passed it, it was way back there, but there was the Kimball War Memorial. It was placed in the National Registry of Historic Places in 1993. And it has been renovated. And it's there in Kimball. Let's see. There was also a memorial. Let me make sure I get this right. The nation's first World War I memorial for African American veterans was located in Kimball. Fire destroyed the building. And I'm not sure when that happened, but fires destroyed it. But yeah, fires did destroy that. Let's see. All of this information, which has been very amazing, is in the West Virginia Encyclopedia. So I got a lot of information for you all here, and so of course, I needed to give that a shout out here. It was in the West Virginia Encyclopedia, and it was searched under McDowell County. Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and today I am driving from Welch, West Virginia, down Route 52, heading back towards Bramwell, Bluewell, Bluefield area. My camera in my window is getting low on battery life, and it will not make the whole trip. But we will be going through these towns as we go by: Maitland, Superior, Big Four, Kimball, Vivian, Ekman, Keystone, North Fork, Kyle, Powhatan, and it will shut off in Upland. So really, it makes it a good distance down Route 52. One day I will get back up here and I will continue the drive from Upland and get it to go through Elkhorn, Switchback, Mayberry to Bramwell. But this will get you from Welch to Upland if you're familiar with this area, and curious of what the Route 52 looks like now if you've moved away and different things. So I hope you enjoy this video, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, I guess, for this next. It's probably going to take me about 18 or 20 minutes to get there. So we're going to talk about some West Virginia history. We're going to talk about some McDowell County history, and some other things. So one of the other things I'll talk about, just because it's in a sense something new. A lot of people don't refer to this area as the head of the dragon. If you are aware of what that means, it's you probably still don't know this area is called the head of the dragon. Nobody really talks about it. But there's articles on online talking about the head of the dragon, and that is a motorcycle route. And there are tons of routes through the mountains. Start like there's Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia. There's like the tail, the back, the head, the eye, the claw, the of the dragon. They're all of the dragon. Well, this section that I'm driving on is part of the head of the dragon. So it's great for motorcycles. Motorcyclists maybe refer to this area more as the head of the dragon. But of course, just driving through the country like I am doing, it's great in a vehicle too. But it's one of the motorcycle things. So we're going to talk a little bit about the head of the dragon since I'm on part of it. It's a 91-mile journey through basically most of McDowell County. It was maybe the beginning of it started in 2017. It was featured in a motorcycle magazine called Ween World. So that's pretty interesting. But they have I guess motorcycle and sports car rides through different parts of the dragon. Of course, the head of the dragon. There was a one on September 30th, and it started in Kimball, West Virginia. So basically, It starts, well, I don't know the exact what they would call the starting point, but an easy way to get to the head of the dragon and do the loop around, um, well, would be down in Virginia. You'd start near Tazewell, um, but like right off of 460, honestly, would be the closest way to get to it. Then you'd get on uh, 757, 90. I think it's Route 90. Oh, sorry, Route 80. Um, 52, 83, 16, and 161. But it does cover just a teeny bit of into Tazewell County too. So there, if you didn't realize that this is actually part of a motorcycle route that's famous for being, or sort of famous for being called the Head of the Dragon, um, there you go. It joins. It's huge. It'll join something called the Back of the Dragon near Tazewell. And then there's the Claw of the Dragon, the Tail of the Dragon. um, there's just tons of riding for motorcycles or anyone. And recently, they were talking about the most dangerous road in the United States. And it was part of the road from North Carolina and into Tennessee. Um, I'm trying to look this up. Sorry, I've started yapping and got distracted. It was the most dangerous one is called the Tail of the Dragon. And it's got 318 curves near Dills Gap, Tennessee, into the North Carolina state line area. But it was this summer the scariest drive in America. So that's what made me think of talking about the Head of the Dragon, because there's so many of these dragon routes for motorcyclists and other drivers who enjoy these type of curvy country road drives. All right, everybody. I think that's all I want to talk about today. The video will continue on just a little bit further without me talking, but I hope you enjoyed. This is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure. Talk to you all later.